Alright, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to be able to mount your bearing slide and the rail itself. And the first way is if you have some kind of a support that's past your rail, you can mount it back here, back 3/4 of an inch plus a 1/16 or an 1/8, whatever. And the same way with on your drawer. And the reason being is because you can set this right up against the drawer front, and of course on the back it doesn't matter. But what we've done on the back, you see we've cut this out. We've cut out a notch for this to fit down in there, so the drawer would be closer, so that in case it's too high, you know, it wouldn't be able to fit in here. You'd have to cut the top of the drawer down if you did that. But anyway, if you did it this way, you run it back and then you just ran this up to the front of the drawer front, then that would be fine. Because if you didn't and you ran this bearing rail up to the front, well, the drawer wouldn't close all the way because it would stop 3/4 of an inch from there, and then of course your drawer would be sticking out, and there'd be a 3/4 inch space where the drawer wouldn't close. Alright, the next way is you can go ahead and run it all the way out to the front, what we're fixing to do, and then of course then we notch out the front here for your rail to go all the way up to the front of your drawer front itself. Okay, so the way that it is right now, see, here's the drawer front support, and so if you push it in right now, then it's going to go all the way in. So that's the way we have it mounted now. Now I'm fixing to pull out the rail guide. Okay, and now I'm going to show you what happens when you have it all the way out to the front, but that you don't have this all the way to the front. Okay, you can see we've got this space here. That's it. It's not going any farther. So that's when you have to take this rail guide, notch this out, and then slide it up. Alright, I've got it marked where I need to notch that out. And you don't want to be hammering on your drawer any more than you have to. Remember, you got to still keep it on the center. Okay, now remember, the drawer front stuck out a little bit. Alright. See, now we're flush with that. And you still may have to do a little bit of adjusting. You know, there's always going to be something when you're changing from a monorail to a bearing monorail. But if the wheels are still intact that support the drawer with just a monorail, then you may not have to do anything. Just adjust the rail guide on the bottom of the drawer, and a lot of times you can just fix it just by that, because the only time it's really going to matter about this is just when it's closed. You don't have to worry about it, you know, as it's open and you're getting stuff, it doesn't matter. But when it's closed, that's when you want it to look right. Okay, now the third way is, let's say you don't have any kind of support back here, so we need to put a support back there. So that's just a matter of getting it some kind of block and mounting on your rail. And I'm not going to take a lot of time, and I'm just going to shoot a couple of screws in there for now. Alright, now we got our support. I'm just going to move the bearing rail down here on the bottom. If your drawer is flat and you don't have this little area here and you just need to mount it right there, okay, well that's not a big deal. You just and we are going to assume this is centered, so you're going to have to overlook the fact that we're off center. Okay, we've got our mount ready. Okay, see, we got quite a few washers under that one. That's going to raise that up about 1/4 of an inch. Got about the same thing here. We're up about 1/4 of an inch. So let's try our drawer. Okay, drawer's in. Still just a little bit of rocking. What it means is we're just going to have to add probably another washer or two under each one. But of course, drawer front's too small for this one, but at least, as you can see on the side here, it pulls all the way up to the dials. So in other words, the drawer is going to close all the way. Alright, so that's the ways that you can do to put your bearing monorails in, and I hope this does help.